Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the last session of this complimentary event batch on time. Uh, the some details over on the slide will not be accurate because here I have mentioned. Yeah. So let's look at the agenda for today's session. So we'll talk about this special article or just another article. Uh, we call it diese, but in English you say the so you say the sun, a sun, for example, the star, a star. You also have this article called as this star, this road, this man, this woman, this report. So how to say this in German, that you will learn today. Also, you will learn these two phrases: es gibt and then da ist or da sind. These phrases can help you to say very simple things quite a number of times. We'll talk about that. For example, if you want to say there are two job offers, now how do you say there are? Or if you want to say there is the exit, the entry, how do you say these things, right? For that you need to know how to say the phrase there is blah blah, right? How do you say there is? Then we'll talk about this word doc. In English, if I ask you a question, yes or no kind of question, the answer is usually yes or no. Okay. So if I say, are you an engineer? You can say yes. If you are not, you will say no. If I ask you, are you not a doctor? You can say no, I'm not a doctor. Or you can say yes, I am a doctor. So usually it's yes or no. But in German, you can say yes, you can say no. You can also say doch. By yes and no, I mean ja, nein, or doch. Okay. So sometimes you think you should say nine, but you can say nine and people will know what you're trying to say, but doch is the correct answer. Okay, we'll talk about when to say doch and when to say nine. Then we'll talk about, of course, then we'll talk about how you can continue learning, because this is the last A2 A1 session, because from Thursday we'll start with A2. But if you still want to continue learning A1, how can you continue doing that? Also, all these four topics will be discussed while you and we both are practicing some German. Okay. Any questions, please ask. If not, we will continue. Just heads up, guys, so that I know you can see the screen and you can hear me. You can thumbs up, in this. You can do this reaction of thumbs up so that I know you can see the screen. Okay, thank you, Akash. Okay. Akash, can you please read all these sentences for me? From First of all, read all these on the left side, if you don't mind.
Yeah, first of all, good morning.
Good morning.
And okay, so I read it. Kommst du mit? And the answer is yeah. Hast du gegessen? Nein. Kommst du nicht mit? Nein. Kommst du nicht mit? Doch, ich komm mit.
Okay, please
Kannst
read
du,
also. Yeah, continue.
kannst du schwimmen? Ja. Kannst du schwimmen? Nein. Kannst du nicht schwimmen? Nein, ich kann nicht schwimmen. Kannst du nicht schwimmen? Doch, ich kann schwimmen.
Okay, Akash, do you mind? I don't know if you have previous knowledge or not, but can you, with the help of this slide, tell me when to say yes, when to say no, and when to say yeah, when to say nine, and when to say dog? Any idea? By looking at the questions and the answers that are mentioned on the slide.
To differentiate the dog,
Yeah. So yeah is obvious, right? But when to say nine, when to say dog? So these two questions, like kommst du nicht mit, the answer question is the same, right?
right?
But here you say nine, here you say dog.
So whether we are asking in like a negative way, that maybe not something like that, or
Yeah, that we
can
are
be
going
not.
in the right direction. So first of all, the one differentiation you can figure out, whenever the question is posed in a positive way. I mean, when I say positive way, there is no nicht in the sentence. You don't see nicht here, right? Neither
Yeah,
in this sentence, neither in this sentence, neither in this and neither in this sentence, right? So the answer was either yes or no, yeah or nine. But in these four sentences, nicht was there. So the answer was never yeah. It was either nine or dog. Okay, this much is understood at least, right?
yeah,
Now, uh, here comes to it. The question was posed in a positive kind of way, right? And if you agreed with the question, you said yes, right? Someone asked you, "Are you coming along?" You said yes. Someone asked you, "Did you eat?" Hast du gegessen? If you agreed with the sentence, you would have said yes. If you had eaten, you would have said yes. But you have not eaten, so you did not agree with the state question, so you said no, right? So here you agree, yes. Here you don't agree, so you say no. Here as well, right? Kannst du schwimmen? Can you swim? If you can, you say yes. If you cannot swim, you say no, right? In this sentence, based on the logic that I just gave, Akash, can you help us now understand like when to say nine, when to say dog?
So for dog is something. The question is, kannst du nicht schwimmen? Zum Beispiel.
Yeah,
So it is asking, can't you swim?
yeah. Can't you swim
So
or
I
can you
say,
not swim?
I yeah, I cannot swim. So I say, uh, I can swim.
Right? So you don't agree with the statement, right?
Right, right,
So there is no disagreement, right? So whenever you're someone
right,
is saying posing a yes or no kind of question in a negative kind of way, and
yeah,
you are like, no, 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 I can, right?
you're
Then
right.
you say dog,
Yeah,
right? And if you agree, kannst du nicht schwimmen? And you're like, yeah, no, I cannot swim. But you,
so
you have
that's
to
it.
think, you think, for example, someone says, right, can you not swim? You say, no, I cannot swim. And if you agree, you'll say, yes, yes, I can swim. But in German, there is, I mean, it will take some time, for you to think that, that so there are three ways to answer a yes or no kind of question: yes, no, and dog. Okay, so positive questions can be answered with either yes or no. Negative can be answered either with no or dog. Yeah is not there. Is it clear, or is there some confusion? Any
No,
questions? Yeah.
for me
Okay.
it is
Okay, it's
clear.
clear, right? So let me give you. These are some examples just that I thought of, right? On Saturday, I went to Düsseldorf and I was coming back home, and in the train it left Düsseldorf. Then I think it stopped at Düsseldorf Flughafen. Then I believe it stopped at Oberhausen. No, not Oberhausen. I believe it stopped at Duisburg, if I'm not wrong. Yes, right. When we were at Duisburg, so I got in the train at Düsseldorf, and then when the train was about to reach Duisburg, a lady who was sitting like uh, across me, she said, when we were, the train had left Düsseldorf, it was approaching Duisburg, right? The lady asked, here, die hat aber in Düsseldorf Flughafen nicht gehalten. This is what she said, right? But it was post like, it was even though this looks like a statement, but it was, said in the type in a question way, right? So she said, die hat aber in Düsseldorf Flughafen nicht gehalten. She's like, but it did not stop in Düsseldorf Flughafen, right? Right. So here it was a question, right? It clearly, I mean, of course, it's a yes or no kind of question, and it is posed in a negative way, right? And I knew that it stopped. Maybe she did not notice, or she was lost in her thoughts. And I knew it stopped at Düsseldorf Flughafen. So what do you think my answer was? Yeah, nein, or dog? What do you think my answer was, Akash? So she
You
said,
wanted to get down to Duisburg,
no,
right?
no, no. I did not want to get. I'm saying we sat in Düsseldorf. Okay, I wanted to go further. I wanted to go to like further up, like even after Duisburg. What I'm saying is that lady. So the train stopped at Düsseldorf Flughafen, and then when the train was reaching Duisburg, when the announcement was there that now Duisburg will come, the lady asked me that uh, it did not. So die hat aber in Düsseldorf Flughafen nicht gehalten. What do you think this lady is asking?
Um, Is the train stopping at uh,
No, no, no.
Düsseldorf?
No, it is post in okay. This is like kind of like B1 level, but let me let me rephrase this. Hat die Bahn in Düsseldorf Flughafen nicht. Halten is to stop. Okay. What do you think the lady is asking now? Here. So, halten is to stop. Nicht, like this, it is posed in a past tense, right? It stopped. But she's saying nicht gehalten. That means she's saying like, did the train not stop at Düsseldorf Flughafen?
Mm.
Okay, but I know it stopped. I know that it stopped. What do you think my answer would have been? Yes, no, yeah, nine, or dog?
In that case, it should be doch,
Right? It's correct, dog. Because I don't agree with her statement, right? This is,
right?
real life example. This just happened on Saturday. I'm not making this up. So I'm saying this will happen quite often, like just think how often you say yes, no, right? So now instead of yes, no, you also know. You have to say dog. Any questions? If any questions, those who are joining for the first time, feel free to ask. Don't think that, your question will be stupid. Ask any questions that you have. Okay, if not, we'll talk about before we go on to talk about how to say this in German, because this is an article. Let's do a quick revision of pronouns and articles that we already know. It's always good to do revision. And what I want from you is that you see this table, right? In this table, I want to list all the pronouns, right? Nominative pronouns, accusative pronouns, dative pronouns, right? Here in the first column, you see English version. So I, you, we, he, she, it, you, they, you. Now you see you four times. You here three times. Okay, right? This you is singular, informal. Let's say if I'm talking to just one of you, and I can be informal with like you're my friend, you are my colleague, or someone I'm close to. Then you see this you, or then you see this you, right? This you is not singular. This was singular, this is plural. This is plural, and this is also informal. Let's say if I'm talking to all of you, okay, and I can be informal with you. So what kind of pronoun I will use for you? Then this one is singular or a plural, but it has to be formal. Let's say if I am talking to you, let's say you are taking my job interview and there is one or more than one you, which pronoun I will refer to you if I want to be formal with you? First you have to give me all the nominative ones, accusative ones, and dative ones. Who wants to fill this table for me? Yes, Rishabh, please go ahead. uh, Nominative.
Mm. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Nominative. Um, ich mich mir. Then du
don't
dich
don't give all
dir.
don't give all at once, Rishabh. Just give the nominative ones.
Ich du wir he she it er sie es you ihr they sie with a small s and you z with capital S.
Okay, perfect. Now, those who did not know what, I mean, it should be obvious to you what Rishabh is saying, but if it's not, then this is what he said. Okay. And the reason he said that because this was taught in the very second session. So this is the 12th session now. So now it should be, you should remember these things by heart. Now, Rishabh, please give the accusative ones.
Sure. Accusative. I will be mich, you, dich, wir, uns, he, she, it, ihn, sie, es, you, euch, they, sie, small s, you, sie, small capital S.
Correct. Dative.
I, mir, you, dir, wir, uns, he, she, it, ihm, ihr, ihm, you, euch, they, ihnen, you, it should also be ihnen. Yeah. And the they ihnen is small I.
Yeah. Please give all the definite articles. So you can tell me all the nominative ones, accusative ones, dative, genitive. Okay, dative also you should give. Genitive, don't necessary, but if you know, you can. It's not necessary for even. But please tell me all the nominative ones. The definite articles. The.
Okay. Der, die, das, die, den, die, das, die, dem, der, dem, den.
Okay, perfect. Rishabh, tell me something about nominative to accusative. What changes? So when you go from nominative to accusative,
Extra N, we add N.
right? So when you go
Yeah,
from here to here, only there becomes name.
yeah.
These ones remain the
Everything
same,
remains same.
right? Something about dative.
Same. We add EM, extra
EM
M.
too. So masculine neutrum them, feminine becomes there, and this one is
Yeah.
them. Okay. Genitive you can ignore for now, not needed in naval level. Please give me indefinite articles.
Sure. Ein, einer, ein, meine. Einen, eine, ein,
What did you say?
meine.
Minor? Why are you saying minor? Where? How come you have minor in
Sorry, sorry,
indefinite
sorry,
article?
sorry. Will not be.
Plural does
Yeah.
not exist. Plural
Yeah,
do
plural does
not.
not exist.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I should repeat again.
Yeah.
Ein, eine, ein, then einen, einer, ein, then einem, einer, einem.
Perfect. So when you go from here to here, only masculine changes, right? These two remain the same. And in dative, masculine and neutrum are the same. If you look at the endings, right here it was MM, here as well it is MM. Here it was N, here as well it is N. Rishabh, please give the negations article.
Um, like negative. Okay, keine. Okay. Keine, kein, keinen, keine, kein, keinem,
What did you
keiner,
what
keinen.
did you say here?
Oh, sorry. Again, I missed. Kein, keiner, kein, keiner, keinen, keiner, kein, keiner, keinem, keiner, keinem, keinen.
Okay. So, you know, kind if you really want to get like if you know the this table, all you have to do is put k everywhere and you get this table. And of course plural you have to remember, but it's not that difficult, right? One thing about German languages, it's very predictable. If you look at the ending, here you have e n r. Check e n r. It's not that difficult. Okay. We'll talk very quickly about possessive article. But Rishabh, so, possessive article, if you want to say, my laptop, my
Yeah,
cup,
yeah, yeah.
my job, something
Yeah,
like that. So please give me this table for mine,
sure. Mein, meine, mein, meine. Meinen, meine, mein, meine. Meinem, meiner, meinem, meiner. Meinen, sorry.
right? So, again, if you want to, if you know this table, this negations article table, if you replace K with M, you will get this table. You can do this, mental check right now. If you replace K with M, you will get this table. And if you want to get the table for thine, you just have to replace M with, D. That's it. Okay. And if you want to get the table for unser, right, all you have to do is replace mine with un unser. Okay. So having said that, I don't need to cover. I don't want to cover all the possessive articles. Let's continue. We'll do one practice before we. Yes, let's do this. So, anyone wants to? What happened? Okay, how do I say this in German? Can you forward the email to me? So you have to tell me which verbs you will use, which noun you will use, and of course, which pronoun you will use. How do I see this? How to say to forward? To forward. Really, no one knows. Nandisha?
Absenden,
Sorry.
absenden,
Absenden is to send. It's not forward. Absenden is to send.
Vital, like,
Weiterleiten, yes. But absenden is a good verb. I'm happy that you know that. Absenden means to send. Weiterleiten is to means to forward. Is it trennbare or not trennbare? Like, is it separable or not separable, Rishabh?
I think not in.
Rishabh, you,
Separabilities, no?
it's separable, right? Guys, please watch the recordings because we discussed this verb in the last session itself. The recordings are there. There is no reason why you should not know this. Uh, Separable, right? And which, so here, forward is one verb, but I also have can. Which verb do I have to use to say to can?
Können,
Können, right?
kannst.
Now, können will be a modal verb. Yes. Können will be a modal verb. That means I will have two verbs. Which one will be conjugated? Both will be conjugated, like können and weiterleiten, or what do I do about them? When I say conjugate, you have to change the spelling. For example, I say I read, he, she, it reads, right? You're changing the spelling. So similarly, in German as well, you change the spelling of the verb. So will we have to change the spelling of both können and weiterleiten, or just one of them?
I think only can.
Only können, because that's how it is. When you use a modal verb, you only conjugate the modal verb. So, anyone knows the answer? How do I say this? So the noun, of course, is the email. Können is the modal verb that we will use. Here is the conjugation table for können. Ich kann, du kannst. Ah, boy. Ich kann, du kannst. Er, es, sie kann, ihr könnt. What about the other ones? Other pronouns, it's the same as, the verb itself, können. There is no difference. Then here is the verb, weiterleiten. Now here you see, some other words, etw, akk, an, jmd. Now you have to, this is how you have supposed to learn new verbs. Not now in even, but as you continue. Etwas accusative weiterleiten. etw means etwas, akk stands for accusative, right? That means whatever the object is, that object will be in accusative case. That means whatever you are forwarding, the email will be in accusative case. Now you have an jemanden weiterleiten. An is the preposition that you will use to say, to someone, forward the email to someone. Now to say to over here, you will say an, and whatever you have to say, it will be here. Now here I have written, yot m day n. Whenever you say see yot m day n, it will be accusative. Whenever you see yot m day m, it will be dative. Now how do you know, when it is dative accusative? This will come, okay? With prepositions it will take some time, but normally I think you know how to when accusative, when dative, because we discussed this. If you still have questions, please ask. So yes, let's see how we can frame the sentence. Now here you are saying to me, right? So on me, me, I in accusative, because it is accusative, right? So mich, okay. So and the email will be in accusative case because it was accusative weiterleiten. So the feminine in accusative is also the. So that we have figured this out. So you start with at the very first position, because it's a yes or no kind of question, with the conjugated verb. What is the verb? Können. We conjugate it for what? We conjugate it for the pronoun. Let's say if I am being informal, I will say du. If I am being formal, I will say sie. Let's say if I am being informal for du, what is the conjugation of können? Kannst. So
Kannst.
kannst du. Then what is the object? Email. Okay, so I write email. And email is in accusative case, so accusative article for email is the. Perfect. Now we have this an, like to. Now after an, it has to be accusative. So me in accusative is mich. Okay, mich. And weiterleiten as it is, even though it is trennbare verb, when you are phrasing a yes or no kind of question, you just write it as it is. The good thing about modal verb, right? They make your life easier, because when you use modal verb, whether you have a trennbare verb or just a normal verb, it does not matter. You just write it as it is. You do not conjugate it. That's why you should use modal verb as often as you can. Of course, you not unnecessarily, but use it if you can. So, any questions?
No. How do I know that this vital lighten is for sure trend bar or not.
We discussed this, right? I mean, for sure, you will never know. But this was, I mean, I think, uh, so I did. I can find the slide. It will take me 5 minutes. But we had this slide where we
No.
told you, like, there are three kinds of prefix. If you look at the, there was some, like, I gave you like 10 20 prefixes, and when you have that prefix,
Yes.
for sure it is going to be trend bar web. Remember, we discussed something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. For example, this Vita, right? If I'm not sure, Vita, whenever you see Vita, right, it is going to be trend bara. For example, you have this verb geben, right? Okay, means to give. If I add the prefix Vita to it, what do you think it means now?
Give back.
Not now. Come on, give back. In school, we used to sit, right, and in the exam time, teacher used to come and they used to, like, give me one, give you one question paper and say what?
Forward. Yeah. Forward
Yeah,
to.
get, like, keep giving, something like that. So weitergeben.
Yeah.
Okay. uh I think, if I'm not sure, I'm just guessing right now. Why? Okay, let's not do that. Let's not do guesswork. Yeah. Let's continue. So I hope I answered your question partly, right? Yeah. So we discuss
Yeah.
this. Let's talk about, so here, every now, guys, please pay attention. Okay, so this session has been designed considering to make you follow something, right? So you don't know how to say, can you forward the email to me, and you know that the email is in accusative case. Okay. Now, instead of saying, can you forward the email to me, if I say, okay, let's stay here for now. I did forward the email to you. So, for example, you are telling me, Rohit, can you forward me the email? And I was like, bro, I forwarded the email to you like 10 times, like in the last 10 days. So how do I say I did forward the email to you? Now here the sentence is in past tense. So please tell me, what is the thought process that you should have to write this in German or to say this in German?
Uh, can we say like, ich habe die E-Mail an Sie weitergeleitet?
That's correct. That's perfect. But you're being too formal. If you don't want, you have to be formal. Instead of Anzi, what will you say?
Uh, mm,
On this,
Andish. That's it.
uh,
So Rishabh, you were being formal, so you said Anzi. All you have
yeah.
to do is Andish. That's it.
And then,
Right. So you start with the noun, the email. It was accusative an jemand weiterleiten, as you know. So weiterleiten, participle zwei of weiterleiten is weitergeleitet because you need that in past tense. And this is fine. you know Now, when you say something in past tense, if you are doing it with the help of participle zwei, there are two ways: preteritum and participle zwei. Participle zwei, when you do, you need a helping verb, and there are two helping verbs, haben and sein. By default, the helping verb is haben. You use sein when there is some kind of motion being described with the help of the actual verb. So haben, conjugated conjugation table is here. Every pronoun which is not mentioned in the left column, for that, the conjugation is the verb itself, haben. So you start with the second, because this is a statement. At the second position, you have verb conjugated with respect to ich, the subject, and for that it is habe. So ich habe, object, email, accusative, and the article will be the. Feminine accusative is still the. Ich habe the email, an, preposition after an, it is accusative, so dich, weiter, geleitet. Okay. Uh, okay, that should not be a question mark. There should be a full stop. But how do I say this? I have sent you my resume. Someone gave me the verb absenden. Do you mind giving me this sentence because you already know the verb? Someone in the beginning gave the verb absenden. You
Yeah.
can use that verb over here.
How do we say resume? This is. Yeah.
Just say resume. It's fine. No problem. Just
Okay.
tell me, how do I say I have sent you my resume?
Ich hab, ich hab meine Resume abgesendet,
That's 90% correct. Okay. Anyone knows how to say resume in German? Come
Bewerbung,
on. No, Bewerbung is application.
Application, okay.
Come on. Manjusha, what is resume? If you don't know this, I'm not happy.
Lebenslauf.
Okay, yes, Lebenslauf. So, uh, you know, I used Geschick, but you can also say abgesendet, it's fine. Here, where you'll ask why it is dative. Whenever in a sentence, every verb has a direct object, indirect object. Here, the direct object is resume, what is being sent. To whom it is being sent, that comes after. It is the indirect thing, The first direct object of sending is whatever is being sent. So that will be accusative case. Whatever is indirect will be in dative case, so dir. Now you will say, why is it not like ich habe an dich meinen Lebenslauf geschickt? Don't ask me, that's how the German language is. When you say schicken or senden, you don't need a preposition. You can add a preposition, but you don't need. Okay. Any questions? No questions. How do I say cover letter? The same sentence, you know. All you have to do is replace Lebenslauf with cover letter. How do you say cover letter? Manjusha, asking you again. But what is the cover letter?
I don't know.
You should know
I
this.
have,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Anyone else? What is cover letter? Anyone else in the application phase or going to apply for a job or has already applied for a job? Okay. Cover letter is Anschreiben, das Anschreiben. Let's continue. Uh, okay, let's skip this one. Let's talk about this article. How do you say this? Okay, it's not that difficult if you look at it. So, um, hmm, let me look at the Bali. If you don't mind talking, can you read this table for me? Like this row, there, this row, there, this row. Bali ready?
Sir, today only I came,
It's
so
fine. Let's do some practice. Can you read? Just read if you don't mind.
uh, masculine nominative
Don't
is a
don't read
desire,
like that. Just read this one. This one, this one, this one, and
desire,
this. Yeah.
desire, disease, desire, 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 desire.
No, no. Read
Up,
slowly. Read slowly. Again, there is no hurry. It's important that you understand the ending. Ending is important. One more time.
desire, disease, desire, desire, design, disease, desire, desire, disem, disem, desire, disem.
Okay. So now you'll think this is something new, but it's not something new, right? If I really have to, let me just go back. What will be the definite article if I have to write over here? It will be, let me reduce the size. It will be uh, too small. There, right? If I'm, let me just say, thus, the, and then here as well you have, I hope you know what I'm doing. You understand what I'm doing. It will be the, okay. So you check the ending is still the same, right? Here it is air, here it is S, here it is A, here it is A. Check. These are, these are. Now, if I had asked you what will there become in accusative, you will say there will become then. So R will be replaced by N. So dieser became diesen. If I had asked you what would das become in accusative, you would have remained the same. There is no change, right? So dieses remains dieses. Here as well, there is no change. Okay. So the logic, German language is very predictive. You can tell, you can like actually write math, like tell me, give me, you can write formulas to think of grammar. That's how simple is it. German language is to understand and learn. Here, there would have become them. Here as well, das would have become them. So the same, diesem, same for masculine, same for neutrum. Here, dieser, diesen. Okay, any questions? So this table you have to remember, but those who know the other articles, you don't have to remember it. It's guesswork. You can just, like know all these things by intuition now. Any questions? If not questions, please take a hard look at this table because we'll do some exercises now. Okay, I believe you looked at it. So this, okay. How do I say this one? I saw your message. How do you say I saw your message? Anyone? How do you say I see your message? How do you say I see? How do you say I see, guys? What is the verb to see?
Zen.
Ich sehe.
Sehen. And sehen, participle zwei of sehen is
Gesehen.
gesehen. Now this sentence is in past tense, so you will need a helping verb. So you have option of haben or sein. Which one will you use? Haben or sein?
Haben.
Haben. So ich habe gesehen. But you also need. Yeah, go ahead.
Ich habe deine Message gesehen.
Yes, perfect. Ich habe deine Nachricht. Die Nachricht sehen. Participle zwei of sehen is gesehen. You need the helping verb haben. Haben is here's the conjugation table, and possessive article. Nachricht is feminine. And deine same nominative accusative. So conjugated verb will be at the second position, conjugated with respect to verb, with respect to the subject. Subject is ich, that means habe. Habe, Nachricht, Akkusativ, deine Nachricht, Partizip 2, gesehen. Let's skip this one, let's skip there's this one, skip. Yes, how do you say this one? I have to write. Okay, how do you say I have to write? Or how do you say I write? Let's start with I write. How do you say I write?
Ich schreibe.
Schreibe.
Ich schreibe. Now you have to say I have to write. How do you say I have to write?
Ich muss
Ich muss.
schreiben.
Ich muss schreiben. Now how do you say I have to write code? Just add the code in between and then your sentence will be correct.
Ich muss das Code schreiben.
Right. Now just say, how do you say in Python? Just write in Python at the appropriate place and say the sentence.
Ich muss das Code im Python schreiben.
You don't have to say in Python, just say in Python will be correct.
In
okay?
Python.
Yeah. Now
Schreiben.
here it is this code, okay? This code. But now you have to remember that table that we discussed, right? So you have to check whether code is nominat, like first of all, whether code is masculine, feminine, accusative. Definitely it's not plural, right? It's not plural right now. If it was plural, it would have been THEAC. So first you have to tell me masculine, accusative, masculine, feminine, or neutral, and then in which case is this, like nominative, accusative, or dative? Just tell me the case first. Which case? Nominative, accusative, dative. Which case? Nominative, accusative. Can it be nominative?
No, it cannot be nominative.
It cannot be
Nominative
nominative. Nominative is usually the subject, or it can be object, but then the verb has to be sein, right? Or heißen or werden. So it cannot be nominative. Now question is accusative or dative. Whenever you are here, go with accusative. Okay. Now how to decide the accusative dative, we discussed this before. If you have questions, please ask. So if I tell you that code is nominat, if I tell you that code is masculine, If I'm telling you the code is masculine, how do you say this sentence now? With the correct article for this. I'm telling you code is masculine.
Ich muss diesen Code in Python schreiben.
Perfect. So let's start with code. Code is masculine, their code. The verb is schreiben. Then müssen also you have to use. Müssen here is the conjugation, because when you use a modal verb and other verb, you don't conjugate the other verb. That is good news. You only conjugate the modal verb. And here is the conjugation table. Every pronoun which you don't see here, for that pronoun, the conjugation is the verb itself, müssen. So, and here is the, that table that we just learned. So, and their code is masculine, and masculine accusative. Here the article will be diesen. So you start with the second place. At the second place, you will have the modal verb. It will be conjugated. Conjugated with respect to what? With respect to the subject. The subject is ich. For ich, it is muss. The code and accusative, diesen, in Python, schreiben. Any questions? Now, this sentence, you are looking at this sentence, and okay, depending on your field, but to all the guys who do some or the other kind of programming here in Germany, you have said something like this. Sometimes you say, we should write this code in Python, we should write this code in SQL, in PySpark, in Java, or whatever. No, okay, in German you will say Java, not Java, but okay. I'm saying this is this is how you learn language. You think of all the things that you say in real life and see how you can write them in German. Okay, many people think, okay, now I know that, I'm just going to speak it. No, you first have to write. You first have to write so that it stays in your memory. Anything which is not written, I cannot guarantee that you'll remember it for sure. How do I say this sentence? How do I say one is not allowed to smoke here? Okay, how do I say, uh, how do you say one smokes? Okay, how do I say I smoke? Okay, how do
Ich
you say
rauche.
ich rauche? Now, how do you say one? One is like you're just referring to some random. How do you say one in German in this context?
Man
Man. So so how do you say one smokes? So this is third
man
party, third party
raucht.
is man raucht. Okay, man raucht. Now, if I say one one is allowed to smoke, how do I say one is allowed to smoke? How do you say to allow? What is the verb that you can use?
Erlauben.
Um, no, erlauben is
Meine.
to give permission. I'm saying it here you have to use modal verb. I can
Darf,
just replace, one must not smoke here. Instead of saying one is not allowed to smoke, I can just say one must not smoke here. Now, what is the verb?
muss for
No, muss is no muss here. Check.
allowed,
It's
darf,
some.
darf, darf,
You
Yeah.
cannot say darf. You should say dürfen, and then you have to conjugate it. Always give the verb in infinitive format. So the verb is dürfen, right? Now,
Verboten.
verboten will be like um, it will not fit here, because then it will be like it is prohibited to smoke here, something like that. So let's stick
Okay.
with dürfen. So you
Darf.
have dürfen and rauchen. Which one will you conjugate, dürfen or rauchen? Which one will you conjugate, guys, if you have a modal verb and another verb? Which one is gets
Dürfen.
conjugated?
Dürfen.
Modal verb. So let's conjugate dürfen for one. So how do you say one is not allowed to smoke?
Man darf nicht rauchen.
Not dürf, darf. Okay.
Darf.
Darf.
Okay.
Man darf nicht rauchen. Now, how do you say here in German?
Hier.
Here. That's it. So man darf hier nicht rauchen. That's all. That's all you have to do. Now, I don't know why you said duf, but if you say duf, it is I'm not happy about it. Dürfen conjugation tables, you should remember, if I come to your house and wake you up at 4 a.m. in the morning, even then, if I make you write the conjugation table for all the six modal verbs, it should be correct. That's how important modal verbs are. Okay. Uh, think the exercises now are not that important. Let's do something else. Let me look at the agenda. So we discussed this. We also need to discuss das is or something like that, right? So let's see, do that. Okay, what we can do is, we can take a break here for 2 minutes. I will send the link for the next call in the group. You can join so that we don't have to pause in between. So I'm stopping this call now, ending this call. I will post the link in the group. Please join using that link. I will need 1 minute to post that link. Okay. Anyone questions about what I just said? If not, I'll count from 5 to 0. I will end this call. Post the link. Please join using that call after 2 minutes. Okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bis gleich.